Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realness with 3 S's. I am your host here, Chantele Francis. Here is my lovely co-host. Today we have
Brazil.
Hi, Brazil.
Hi.
So if this is your first time on Realness, well then welcome. Make sure you subscribe right down below. We are all about reality TV. And if we get any tea, we like talking about all the gossip that goes along with it. So today I thought that since, the most recent episode was the recap, so there's not enough necessarily a lot of additional information that's being provided. But if there was, we kind of took note and maybe want to share that with you. But then we also are going to just maybe do a deep dive in the islanders that have already left the island. So there's been 4 islanders so far that have been dumped by the island. So I've been watching a little bit of some of their exit interviews and have some insight as to maybe what they were thinking in the game a little bit more and how they see the Love Island going moving forward. So are you down to do some of that kind of talk and do some crack-ons and mug-offs and just go for it?
Yes.
Whoop, 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 whoop. So what was your first thoughts of like the recap of the week episode? It was 2 hours. Why was it 2 hours long? That was so.
That's why I turned it off last night. There was it was 8:56, and then the commercial was like, coming up. Oh, there's a lot more to see on More to Love, and I'm like, in 4 minutes, doubt it, and I turned it off. And then I realized it was 2 hours long. I was like, oh.
And so I don't mind like having the recap episodes, but like I only want to see what I haven't seen. Like I don't need them to play a little bit of the scene that I hadn't seen before and then show the additional scene. I think that they can just show, we could figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, just show me the stuff that I have not seen yet. I don't need to be reminded of what was going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I felt it was just like a waste. I actually think that the reason why they have the recap of the week show is because they want to give the narrator something to do. Because it's basically all about him just narrating like certain situations.
Yeah, and he's got some new lines in there that are pretty funny. So
yeah, they're pretty funny. So I think that he's like, I got some material, guys. So like, let's give me a platform here.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing that you saw maybe that we hadn't seen before that you found interesting?
James's book on what not to do.
Okay, tell me more.
It was like chapter 1. Don't ask Moira so many questions that she doesn't know how to answer you. Because then he just kept grilling her. She's like, I don't like your attitude right now. And then it was like chapter 2. Don't freak out on her in front of everybody. Like, and it was basically his downward spiral.
He's kind of on the money there. This is a crack on for me for at least a little bit of awareness.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But just watching his spiral was so painful again. Like, I feel like they showed it a little bit of last week too, no?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I'm like, poor James.
Poor James. I mean, from some of the interviews that I've seen after, he doesn't really seem that affected by it. He's more so taking the stance that he was pretty much blindsided by it, and he really wanted to work on it with her, and he was just so confused by the fact that she was so cold and she wouldn't talk, and like he was trying to be chill and relaxed about it, but like she just wasn't giving him anything, and he didn't know what had switched so drastically, and so he was just like, that's kind of why the spiral was happening, because she wasn't being open and clear as to what had happened. She was just kind of being cold and standoffish and like rude and not talking to him. And he was like, what happened? Which is kind of true. I don't think that she was clear, being like, hey, like, listen, like, I'm just not feeling this anymore. Like, I didn't like X, Y, Z. And, this is, I don't think it's going to be working anymore. She wasn't clear. I did find. I don't think she handled it well.
Yeah. I think she was just like so grossed out and then just couldn't let herself see through it in order to communicate clearly.
Oh, sorry. Sneeze came out of nowhere. One thing that they showed was this volleyball scene. They could have had a little clip of that in the show. The show's long enough that they could put a little volleyball scene. It doesn't have to always be these chats. chats and another chat and another chat in pairs. How do you think? Did you like this? Did you like the scene?
Yeah, I did. I wrote Jeremiah is hilarious. Because he's like you're from the South. You just Yeah, I love him.
Why is Mackenzie playing though? I kind of was skipping?
I wrote that down too. I was like, did Mackenzie get picked? Why isn't she playing?
I'm sure because she didn't want to get play.
Yawn. And then I wrote Trey and Justine's DR was cute.
I know, but it did seem kind of friend zoney.
Yeah. He was like tickling her at one point and like, yeah.
I didn't see the tickles, but I saw.
Yeah, he like tickled her because she like smacked the ball out of his hand. I think he like tickled her. So it's kind of like playful, cute, but.
So during that game, Truth or Dare Roulette, I believe was what it was called. Okay, so maybe it makes sense now because we didn't understand how the game worked, but they were rolling dice as well. So it's kind of like they had the roulette wheel. It chose the person. It chose whether it's like the color wise. It chose whether it was Truth, Dare, or blah blah blah, and then they rolled the die to do that or something like that. So it made more sense, this little game, because I felt like I was like, well, how do you play this? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But within that game, one thing that they didn't show, which was a little bit helpful, was the kiss between Justine and Caleb.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
It looked like a good kiss.
It looked pretty decent, and Trey was not happy about it. Well, he was kind of like,
I don't blame him. I don't think she's kissed him like that.
Absolutely not. So I could see that there was some piqued interest there because, you know, you don't really go in for like a kiss like that unless you're maybe trying to, you know.
The other thing in the roulette game that they didn't like fully show was that Kirsten gave Connor the dare to do a 3-way kiss with 2 people that he has not kissed in the villa yet.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like
I didn't know that they didn't really show that. It just showed him picking like Justine and Rachel, and we both thought that he picked them because they were like the least intimidating to Mackenzie. But he literally said, "Well, 2 people I haven't kissed, those 2." So yeah, so that was the part I hadn't seen either.
Useful information,
mm-hmm.
Definitely. I was pretty surprised though that Sally and Calvin had such a kiss. I mean, Johnny was like, it's just part of the game. Like, he wasn't, you could see that he was a little bit like twinge of jealousy.
I think if it was anyone else besides Calvin, he'd be a little bit more.
Yes, but it was a more passionate kiss than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just, she had something like, it's like little pecks. But this was longer than most of them had been. So I was a little bit surprised, but I don't think he's intimidated by Calvin at all. So I think that he doesn't really care.
Shouldn't be.
So what about you and Trey are pretty much in sync with anti-feet. Look at your face.
Oh my God. When it shows Carrington's foot and he had like syrup like on his heel, I was like, it looked like he stepped in like shit. And then was like, here, suck my toe.
I mean, I don't know, like, even walking around this middle all day, like, I don't know how.
They were in full-on closed-toed shoes, like sneakers, both of them. And they both just whipped it out, like, took their socks off, like, is there lint on your foot? No.
Justine was correct in the saying, like, why is suck your toes on the dice?
Someone has a foot fetish in the Love Island producers.
I mean, it's kind of funny though, to be fair.
God.
It's throwing up more emotion in you than a lot of things that have been happening in most episodes. So, I mean, maybe they have a hit on their hands here.
three full-on feet scenes in 1 week.
Well, like, suck that toe. Suck that toe.
Everyone was hoping it was like it would land on that. I'm like, you guys are awful.
Yeah, I like that chant. So yeah, Carrington also had to. Well, you know, Carrington had smooth toes, says Justine, which I thought was like.
Yeah, she's like, no bunions. I'm like, oh, good.
Well, bunions you wouldn't really like get in your mouth, really, unless you're really deep.
Unless you're going down there.
Like just a whole foot in your mouth to notice that there's a bunion. Yeah, Calvin. Selly and Johnny, when they were on their date in the hideaway, I thought it was kind of sweet how they talked about it. Felt as though they were in the real world, and like they just had like, you know, as a couple got in a hotel room in Las Vegas. Like they didn't feel like they're on the show. They kind of felt like they're already dating. So I liked seeing that. Was there any more in the hideaway scene that I might have skipped over?
That what?
That I might have skipped over?
Oh, I don't think anything that they already showed, just that he, like, every day more and more, he thinks that there's no way he'd want to couple up with anyone else. That's pretty much it. But, well, time out. Going back to that dice game, they showed a very brief clip of someone licking syrup off Calvin's neck. Do you know who it was?
Calvin's neck.
It was very, very brief. And I
do kind of remember this. Was it Rachel? It was Rachel, no?
Mackenzie.
Oh.
And I was like, you were just so pissed at him, but she was full on licking syrup off his neck.
I never saw that. Okay, I feel like I saw that movie. There was just so much.
It was like an intro clip, like coming back from a commercial, like when they were playing, like, you know, like a montage. But I was like, that's Mackenzie's hair, that's Mackenzie's silver dress, and I was like, Interesting. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you mentioned this because I think it's very important.
But yeah, no. Yeah, other than them saying that they felt like it was like their first night out of the villa, kind of like, and how it would be in the real world. It was so cute. Like every time, like, because I think it cut straight to commercial after that. I like, as soon as it goes to commercial, I'm like, oh my God, I'm smiling like ear to ear.
You love them so much. Well, I want to be in a relationship like theirs.
I know. Yeah, and then they both were just saying like they both are equal in the sense of like what they put into it and their humor, and so
his purple do-rag.
Lavender do-rag.
Oh, so cute. So one thing though, before Rachel goes on their date with Caleb, she kind of really made it really seem as though she was still really into Jeremiah, and like, you know, her head wasn't going to be turned. She's just going on this date. And so, go ahead.
I think if Jeremiah didn't do what he did, she would have stayed with him.
Yeah, I think she was feeling him a little bit more than she was with Caleb right off the bat. Hey, Jaquan, don't worry. We haven't talked about We just have been talking about the recap of the recap, and then we're going to go kind of into a deep dive of all the 4 islanders that have been dumped from the island. So you haven't missed much. No worries. That's all I wrote down for the recap of the recap. Did you have anything else that was interesting?
I wrote the ninja game. Loved it.
Okay. Oh, with Sally and Johnny, they're cute.
Again, smiling ear to ear. Can't help myself. And then the last thing I wrote down was Justine and Rachel's convo that they showed.
Go ahead.
Did you skip through that part?
Yeah.
Justine was basically saying that she has had the same conversation with her black girlfriends from home, that kind of like talking about like how sometimes, like she said, her own kind like aren't attracted to her, and you know, like she doesn't really know how to navigate those waters. But she was kind of, I guess for lack of better words, envious that Rachel came in like so strong and like so confident and seemed to like have all these like strong connections right off the bat. And then Rachel was like, well, let me put it in perspective for you to make you understand that better. Like, I was adopted by an all-white family.
Oh.
And so she kind of was like saying like, so that's like why I am the way I am. And, you know, maybe that's why. Sorry, I'm reading Jaquan's comment. But she was like, maybe that's why like you feel that I come off that way. But it wasn't like they were like arguing. Like, it was like, seemed to be a deep heart to heart. So that made me question Justine even more for not telling her, because they had this heart to heart.
Absolutely. And like I didn't see it, but just from you telling me right now, like you would really hope that, if Justine has been feeling as though she doesn't necessarily connect with people of the same, background as she is, like, wouldn't you want to give someone of the same background that you are maybe a little bit of the heads up as to like how you're feeling, just to have that mutual respect? I don't know. I think that's
how I felt after too. I was more confused than I was like going into it, but yeah.
I don't. When was he touching your leg? Did they zoom in?
They were like talking like on a bench. I think before a coupling ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. But he was like kind of complimenting her a lot, and then she was like, "Oh, you're being mushy," and then he was like, "No, you are." She's like, "No, I'm just agreeing with you." He was like touching her leg and stuff. So yeah.
I mean, she just wasn't into him. But like, she still handled it wrong, I think, or not in a way that I would have hoped. Okay, so what do we feel about Justine and Caleb? So I personally think that Caleb is very attractive. He's Aquarius, so he's going to be a little bit standoffish, a little bit aloof. He's going to be kind of mysterious. And so I think that Justine thinks he's good looking. He's tall, as she's mentioned. He has a nice smile that she likes. And she wasn't interested in Trey. And so I think that she was just taking this as an opportunity, especially since he seemed open to getting to know Rachel, that maybe he would also be open to getting to know her as well. And so I don't particularly like how she went about it. I do hope that, they do end up having a good connection. I just don't know what they're actually going to vibe physically. I don't know. How did you feel about their kiss, Brazil? Like, did you see the passion, or was it just like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I felt anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most I've seen from her. So I didn't really like. For me, that was like a crack on because that's the most I've seen her really like.
Yeah,
seen her open up and kind of go for it. So I liked it, but she seems to be kind of putting herself out there a lot more, like since she's been paired with Caleb. So
when they get to like an alone type situation, is she going to be kissing him and being kind of like all over him? It seems that the only time she's like putting herself out there is when it's kind of like a show. So with the car wash, she's confident and comfortable as a dancer. So she's going around, she's twerking in the splits, whatever. Cool. Like, I'm down for that for sure. And then she kisses Caleb in front of everybody as kind of like a show. But I just don't know how good she is going to be able to do that in a more intimate kind of setting. It seems right now it's all for show, personally. Vicky, hi Vicky. So she also asked what we feel about Justine, and so kind of that, I think that she probably doesn't get the guy all the time. I don't think that she's definitely like very forward with how she interacts with guys. I don't think she's that experienced maybe with getting together with guys. I think she's beautiful, obviously. I think she's funny. I think she has a really good connection with a lot of the girls in the house, especially Sally, our girl. But I think that she may be just a little bit kind of jealous of the ease that some of the other girls have with making connections with the guys. What do you think about Justine? I know she's your girl.
Yeah, I mean, I was 100% all in on Justine when the season started. It's just the few decisions she made lately, not the decisions that she has made, but how she went about them, kind of made me question her a little bit, especially after watching like that scene with her and Rachel. I can totally see why Rachel was so upset that she didn't get a heads up or anything from her, because she was trying to like, bond with her and then totally kind of went back on it. So
do you know when this moment was? Jaquan is saying Justine and Caleb have kissed before that they hadn't shown on the show.
During the dice game, what we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah. We talked about that a little bit, Jaquan. So we saw the dice kiss. And I felt that it was a show as opposed to like kind of like a sensual moment. I didn't feel any tinglies, you know what I mean? I just saw like some deep, passionate kiss, but I didn't feel like the passion was legit. Didn't feel it was real. Let's see. I rate Justine and Caleb a 5 or 6 at this moment. They're a better fit so far than Moira and Calvin. I will agree with that, Jaquan. I have higher hopes for Justine and Caleb than for Moira and Calvin, just because Calvin definitely seems as he has his eye ready to look for somebody new that comes into the villa. He basically told that to Moira. I don't want to be touchy-feely, and I think it's because he doesn't want anybody coming into the villa to think that he is not available. So he's like, just stay away from me. We'll sleep in the same bed. Maybe a kiss before bed, but like, I don't want to be doing too much heavy petting or whatnot. And that's basically saying like, I'm just not that into you, but I'm sticking with you for now until someone else comes in. What are your thoughts, Brazil?
So cringy. So cringy.
Yeah. Sorry, what's next? Rachel, your girl Rachel's here. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel girl.
So which guy's your favorite guy again, Brazil? We all know this. Can we all say it together? 1, 2, 3. Johnny.
Obsessed with Johnny. My God.
Obsessed, even though he's like 6 years her junior or something.
Don't care. Detriment. Stealing Lauren's words.
I think he's very handsome. He looks sincere whenever he looks at Sally, and I think that that's what we really like about him. I know he's had a little bit of adversity that's behind him that he doesn't really know about with his ex-girlfriend in the outside world. But what it's showing me right now is that I still like him, and I really just hope that she's just being
petty.
Being petty and being a little bit of a clout chaser. I'm hoping for that. Because just from what he's shown in the villa and what people have been saying about their relationship, I really do feel that he's been genuine. And so, if people in the villa, your best friends in the villa, are saying like they really love them in a couple and they love their relationship, I think that there must be something true. Like he can't be fooling his friends as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think Caleb is into Justine?
I don't know who Caleb's into. They haven't shown us much about him.
I
want to see more.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more. We talk a lot. I talk a lot about astrological signs, and Caleb is an Aquarius, and Justine is a Pisces. So this is the same dynamic as me being Aquarius and Brazil here being a Pisces. Now, we get along, of course, because there's a lot of other things in our astrological makeup, but the way that we might handle relationships and how we get to know people in a romantic relationship may be a little bit different. And so Justine, I think, is going to want somebody that's kind of lovey-dovey and like really show them their heart and how much they're into her. But Caleb, as an Aquarius, that's not really how we vibe. Like we like being funny, we like telling jokes, like we like kind of connecting like with thoughts and ideas and minds and having conversations and chats. And so that might come off as friend zone to Justine. And I just don't know if their languages are really going to be able to mix well. What do you think about them as a couple, Brazil?
I'm hopeful. I'm just unsure. I need to see a lot from them this week.
Yeah, like I mean, what do you think though, just from your perception of Caleb, like of how he acts, Like what do you think?
I don't know. Maybe she'll like it because Trey was seemed to be really into her and she didn't really seem to vibe off that. So maybe she's used to the more aloofness that Caleb provides.
Yeah, maybe it's like mysterious and it's intriguing. I just don't know if she will be able to seduce him because you need to seduce an Aquarius's mind.
Yeah, and that they might struggle in that department.
You know what I mean? Like too much information, but talking about things. Maybe like dirty talk or dirty sexting or stuff like that would be something that would be a way to entice an Aquarius man, as opposed to like a deep kiss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I don't know, it's just a different game, and I just don't know if she can play it. Just saying.
We'll see.
We'll see. What else we got? My rating for Johnny and Sally goes up past the 10 because Johnny took it like a man when Sally had to give Calvin a passionate kiss. 100% Jaquan, 100%. That is, like, I think even both sides, like when Johnny went on the date with Lauren, he was cool about it. She wasn't freaking out like Mackenzie. And I think that the reaction there was definitely showed her confidence, and confidence is very sexy. And I think it's the same with him. Like, if he freaked out, she might have been like, you know that I don't care about this person, and it would just be an unnecessary fight. And so I'm down to. You agree, Giselle?
100.
100. Vicky, do you guys think that Trey is trying to stay in the villa? Yeah. Like 100% Trey is trying to stay in the villa. They all are trying to stay in the villa. I mean,
A for effort, though. He never lets any of us get him down, and he on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I think he would have stayed with Justine. I don't know if his head would have like fully turned to anyone if she would have been into him. So
yeah, I agree. He was giving her a chance, kind of against his normal, type that he usually goes for. And so I do think that he, for his image sake, I think that he would have tried to make it work with Justine as best as he could. Of course, he wants to stay in the villa. We've been seeing this romance, this brotherhood that's been developing. So even just with that alone, it's an amazing experience. Like, you're just spending a month and a half at a luxury villa in Las Vegas for free food, drinks, beautiful women. Like it's a great vacation time. Of course, you would want to stay if you're into Instagram followers and all that jazz. Like, it's great for that as well. The longer you stay, the more hype you're going to be getting outside the villa. And then there's also the money at the end. So there's no real reason for him not to want to stay to be there, because the longer you're there, the more opportunities you get to have the full experience. And so
yep.
I don't behoove him for wanting to stay.
No.
He had to choose Lauren. Who else is he going to choose at this point? Who else? Nobody.
Literally no one. Kirsten, if you could.
Have y'all seen the first look on the app? What's that?
Hold on.
Look it up, please, Brazil. And so Jaquan's also saying Trey said that this was his little bar. And he's not trying to go home. Yeah, he's not trying to go home.
I don't blame him, though. Like, it's paradise.
So first out of the villa, which was pretty surprising because taking a look at her stats, she has 1 million followers on Instagram, Caitlin, already. So coming into the house, she was probably sussed out by somebody looking at her Instagram page. That's probably how she got invited. I haven't heard yet in any of her exit interviews about how she got involved in the process, if she saw like an ad or whatnot, but seeming so that she has 1 million followers, that someone must have found her on Instagram. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like we've talked about before. I think, but in regards to the brother, I think that's kind of how a lot of the cast is picked now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The first look is a 2-minute, 11-second video. I don't know if you can show it on here. But
not really. Want to hold it up? I don't know if is it something too long.
Let's see.
Let's see how this works.
Hey ladies, I got a text.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Kisses, proposals, or cream in your face. I kind of want to see what these UK girls are all about.
Oh.
Trey, will you marry me?
What?
This must be next episode.
Yeah.
The girl that I would like to pie because of the emotional roller coaster that she put my boy Connor on.
Oh shit!
You take it. You take it.
Oh my god! Ooh, I like the neon.
Yeah, me too.
It's the neon night. Hi, Islanders. Oh my God, no. Can I have you all meet me at the fire pit, please?
Sorry, it's like mirrored backwards. So
It's fine on the actual thing.
Islanders have some very important news. America has been voting for who they think is the most compatible couple. I'm now going to reveal the top 3 couples in no particular order who are safe and will remain on the island. The Islanders in the bottom 3 couples risk being dumped from the island tonight. Will you all please stand up?
Are they going to show it, you think? No.
No.
Okay. I was like, there's no way that they're going to show it. Oh my God, Jaquan, thank you for that. Oh my goodness. That is going to be a good episode tonight. It's
I can't wait. Yeah, it's not. It better be 2 hours.
I don't think it's going to be
Probably not.
2 hours.
Just make it 3, 4, 5, whatever.
I don't think it's going to be 2 hours, but that looks like it's going to be a good one. I'm pretty excited.
I love Calvin's shade towards Mackenzie.
So Vicky asks, or well, says, I hope that Caleb does not break Justine's heart because I don't fully trust him yet. It's because he's Aquarius. They're aloof, man. People think that they don't care, but they do. It's just, I'm sorry, guys. Like we're just kind of standoffish. I'm a bitch.
Who else would? Oh, but it's going to be the bottom couples. So I don't think this will be a case of. No, but I feel like Justine and Caleb aren't going to be in the bottom. Like Justine seems to have a very profound fan base.
What do you guys think, Vicky and Jaquan? What do you guys think about how the vote's going to go? Who did you guys vote? Who do you think the top 3 couples are going to be?
/ who did you vote for?
Both, yes. And Jaquan asks, I think that she brought them because she doesn't have a blue check yet. Oh, bought them. While Johnny and other Islanders got less and have a blue check. Interesting.
Johnny has a blue.
No, he's. I guess maybe. Interesting. I mean,
how do you go about getting a blue check? I've always wondered.
Someone told me. I think you had to like apply. I think before people would just like if you were famous, then they would automatically do it for you. But I think that you could also submit to be like, hey, I want to be considered for the blue check, and then you go through some sort of screening of some sort.
Interesting.
I'll
apply.
I'm gonna ask my BFF. She has a blue check. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, I haven't looked at Johnny's page yet, but with all the her pictures, she has like 30,000 likes and stuff like that on her images.
Caitlin?
So that's pretty high, I would say. Like, do you think it's gonna be like 1 million likes on like a photo?
Her like to follow ratio is
too low. Yeah, you think it's good. Okay, so yeah, if you think it's good, then that would make me think that
she only had a few thousand. Then she obviously had like paid for followers.
But she has like 30,000. Rachel, what's Rachel saying? You have to apply and submit your ID. Yeah.
Of course, Rachel would know.
Rachel, do you have a blue check?
She should.
I'm pretty far away from blue checks, but I have.
Rachel's a fellow Pisces as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Chantele hates Pisces, Rachel.
Hate Pisces. It's just they're wishy-washy. Yeah, you have to apply through Instagram, probably also, or Twitter.
Rachel, you should apply.
Jaquan asks, just says Johnny and Sally, he voted for. Wait, Johnny and Sally, I voted for other people. Know their favorite couple isn't strong, so I voted for their favorite Islander. Okay, so yeah, maybe people would vote for Justine because they like Justine, but not necessarily the couple.
Yeah.
As opposed to them as a relationship. So it will be really interesting to see how that goes, like how the votes go.
I think it's gonna be
Almost there.
for the blue check.
Yeah. Oh, exactly, man. Just like don't take anything I say seriously. I keep thinking that it's like, come on, you Pisces. I mean, I love everybody, but the water signs I just don't relate to that well because I'm not that emotional.
So who do you think will be the 3 top couples then? Johnny and Sally.
Johnny and Sally. Justine and Caleb. And probably
Kirsten and Carrington.
Yeah, Carrington and Kirsten. I think that Trey and Lauren are a little bit too new. I think that America likes Connor enough to save Mackenzie, basically. And
no, I think Connor's dug himself a grave because he's wishy-washy. You want to talk wishy-washy? What's his sign?
What was it again? Hold on,
I don't remember, but that is the definition of wishy-washy.
Yeah. He's
my girlfriend. Oh wait, I need space.
He's a bit of a wimp, not gonna lie. Hold on, let's just find what's going on here. No, not live TV. Yes. He's probably a Gemini though, isn't he? Oh, he's a Cancer! Sorry, Jaquan, I know you're a Cancer too, but Cancers tend to be really wishy-washy, but they're emotional.
Your reaction to that, my God. Jaquan, you see how she feels about us?
Disclaimer, my mom, she's born July 9th. She's a Cancer. My dad, born July 3rd. He's a Cancer. My rising sign is a Cancer. So that's what I'm learning to understand and become. But I'm Aquarius through and through. And so it's very difficult for me to be emotional in that kind of way. It's what I'm learning to become in this lifetime. So I don't get it. I'm just like eye roll, about these type of things. But it makes more sense now, seeing that she is a Leo, if I'm not mistaken. Leos are going to want to be the center of attention. They want to have people pay attention to them. They want to be fawned over. They want to be liked. They want to be, so that's Mackenzie's initial personality. And so if he's not doting on her and fawning all over her, she feels that she's not being appreciative. And he just wants loving and kind and just let's be happy and in a home-like situation. Doesn't necessarily like conflict. This is showing more so his personality, and it's watery, so it's emotional. And hers is fire, so that's why she has these fiery outbursts when she's not getting all the attention upon her. So it makes a whole lot of sense that Mr. Caleb or Mr. Connor is a darn Cancer, just by how they're interacting. And also, if you look at the elements, fire and water. So fire can make water boil. And so he may get angry and he might pop off, you know what I mean? Because elementally, that combination has that capability. And then if you look at the other way around, water can put out fire. And so he's not stimulating a fire, doesn't give her the spark that she might need to feel at her best. And so they're just trying to make something that ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work.
We all know that.
Well, in this context, maybe in the real life when they have real life circumstances happening, maybe that then they would be able to make it work. But in this house, I think that it's too much of a pressure cooker and it's just going to blow. Wait, there's an episode tonight? Yeah, there's episodes Sunday nights. Yeah. Yes, Vicky.
Right after Big Brother.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, whatever, Big Brother. So yeah, Vicky, I believe the schedule is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There's no episode on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday's the recap. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What am I missing?
I think they only have one day off, and then the next day they do a 2 hour.
Maybe there's none on Sunday. Actually, there's only 5 days.
It's on tonight.
Actually, no, I think it's not on tonight. I think it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You were right, Vicky. There's no Sunday show.
I swear it's on tonight.
We're wrong.
BRB.
No, tonight at 9. No, he says tonight at 9. I don't know now. Are they just changing the schedule up?
I'm looking at the CBS schedule right now.
I thought it was Monday.
It's on tonight at 8. Wait. Oh. Yeah, 9. Sorry, that was last night. Yeah. Big Brother 8, Love Island at 9.
So it's 6 days a week, not 5? I thought it was Wednesday and another day that it wasn't on.
I'm not sure. I used to think it was only 5 days, but
on last Sunday, because maybe that's why we don't know about Moira's knee, because maybe we didn't watch a whole episode.
Maybe what happened last Sunday on Big Brother, I was probably pissed off and just turned off the TV.
Last Sunday, Big Brother was the head of household.
It was Pacer getting nominated, so yeah, I likely wouldn't have watched Love Island after.
No hard feelings. Don't worry, I love everybody, but sometimes water signs don't get my humor. Vicky, who do you think is going to go to that hideaway? Ooh.
That was the cringiest episode, part of the whole episode on Friday. I don't know, because Mackenzie tried to run away with Connor, and then Moira, I think, was the one that was like, should we have a vote?
Yeah, well, Moira, and there was someone else that kind of was like maybe I want to get in there.
Justine, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was just kind of
Kirsten. Like, yeah, I don't think anyone agreed with that decision.
And Mackenzie was just like, you saw her getting her face on, like.
Ooh. She was like.
I think that they don't want Mackenzie to be mad.
Waste of time, though. Like, I think they all know it's a waste of time.
So. I think that
I think Kirsten and Carrington, maybe. Or Justine and Caleb, one of the two.
I don't think Justine and Caleb, I don't think they'll fight hard enough for it.
Probably not. But if Selly's their girl, Selly will be like, Justine.
Who do you think that Moira would want to have in the...
Herself?
I don't think that Calvin's going to want to go in there.
No.
I don't think that Justine and Caleb are going to fight to be in there. It would just be Carrington and Kirsten. Who do you think out of Carrington, Kirsten, and Mackenzie and Connor that Moira and Justine, those couples, would vote for?
Kirsten and Carrington.
Ooh.
I don't think anyone is really team. Just like based off of their reactions to her like running away with it, they kind of like all stopped her. So I don't think they would have done that if they would have been okay with her just going for it. So
I mean, so if they voted, oh my God, if they voted,
dude, Mackenzie's gonna lose her shit if they don't vote for her.
I mean, that's probably what the producers want. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't let that happen. Holy shite. That's gonna be good. Kirsten needs it to keep Carrington, or Justin needs it to keep Caleb interested for sure.
Delia want one of those four to go, or one of those two couples to go for sure.
I just don't think that Justine will push it that much, and I don't think Caleb will push it that much. I think Kirsten though will be like, I want to go in there and like have a little bit more, push towards that. Especially because Carrington is drifting, as we've been seeing in kind of some of the other scenes that have been happening.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's either going to be Kirsten and Carrington, in my opinion, or Mackenzie and Connor.
Ugh, please not Mackenzie and Connor. We don't need to see any more of that.
I don't want to hear their talks anymore and like trying to get all deep and serious. I'm not into it.
I'm over it.
Jack. Hi, Jack. So Jeremiah seems pretty low-key guy. Mackenzie seems sketchy. She seems like raw seed more than breathing. What does that mean? Like she likes raw seed more than breathing. Is that what you understand?
Please elaborate.
Yes, please elaborate.
Also, hello. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure what that means. But so let's go back to Caitlin. So her, if you want to follow her on Instagram, it's Caitlin J. Anderson. Obviously, remember that she spells Caitlin with 2 N's.
Is that like how she really spells her name?
Caitlin, Kaitlynn. I mean, I don't think that they would not spell it like that if it wasn't a real deal.
Oh.
Oh. Whoa. Okay. Okay. You're getting right in there. I mean,
that's the first time I've ever heard that, but
I think she thinks I think she definitely wants the hideaway to go all the way so she can have him pussy whipped, is my opinion. So if that's the raw seed, then I agree, Jack, that she wants the raw seed, the male smoothie.
That's one way to put it.
Yep, new things, learning something new every day. So the first thing that Caitlin wanted to do was have to order some chicken wings because that's what she was missing being in the villa, and she wants to FaceTime her dog, her mom, and her best friend. She said that Moira, Rachel, and James is who she was going to miss the most, which is what wasn't surprising because Moira was really fighting pretty hard for her to stay. Rachel's a little bit of a surprise because Rachel was a little bit of a newer Islander, but Caitlin was saying that like they really had some really good serious chats and they got along really, really well. And so she had a deep connection with Rachel, even though she was only there for a short little while. What else did she talk about? She said that she actually wasn't attracted to anybody that came into the villa. And she was fine with leaving because when she saw the 2 people that came in, she wasn't really into any of them either. So that's no shocker for sure. But she did say that she was attracted to more people in Love Island season 1 than she was in season 2, and that she would be into maybe George and and Weston were the 2 guys that she was kind of interested in. What do you think?
I can't stand Weston, but
I couldn't stand him either. I didn't think he was hot. I thought that he
was like James. Like I didn't find James attractive either.
Yeah,
they had the same kind of aesthetic going on.
Exactly.
One was a cowboy and then one was just from Texas. Or no, looked like he was from Austin, but wasn't.
Something that she included, though, she thought that Carrington, had the same feeling that you did about Carrington being that he was a douchebag. And like it seemed when they had their first few conversations, that he always was like, man, I'm disappointed in this place. Like I thought there'd be more champagne and more of a party and so that was kind of the attitude that he was going into. And he's like, yeah, I don't really catch feelings that quickly. Like it takes a long time, blah, blah, blah. And so right off the bat, Kirsten felt as though he wasn't really in there for the right reasons. And so she was definitely turned off by him right off.
Kirsten or Caitlin?
Caitlin. Sorry, guys. I meant to say all this is about Caitlin. So if I said the wrong name, I'm talking about Caitlin. What do you think? I mean, you had this opinion, but...
Yeah, I'm warming up to him now, but I definitely had that initial reaction to him as well.
Okay, is this a crack on or mug off this comment? So Caitlin says, oh my God, I feel like they went shopping at Baby Gap for these guys, these Islanders. Like they were all such babies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's a crack on.
They're all pretty young.
They're super young. They're at least 5-6 years younger than she is. She's not that old herself, but like we've talked about this a lot, that guys mature a little bit more slowly. And if it was the other way around, it would work a little bit better if the guy was older than the girl. That tends to be how relationships work in the world. But they just, for some reason, wanted the women to be younger. So what, they just did not want them to find real relationships, or could they not find attractive men that are about 30 to go into the villa?
I mean, that's my problem. I'm just kidding.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like it's that whole social media following thing again. I want to know how many followers like Carrington has, how many they all have. I'm going to look after.
I didn't look up those ones. I just looked up the ones of the people that were kicked out of the island. So yeah, she definitely also loved Rachel and Jeremiah as a couple. She felt that they really had connected and that they they had.
Maya went rogue.
Exactly. I did feel that as well. So I did some research also on Jeremiah's exit interviews, and it seems as though what happened in that relationship was that he thought it was going to have more feelings towards her, and it just ended up being that he started having less feelings towards her. And because he liked her so much as a friend, he felt that he needed to say something instead of pretending like he was feeling it more than he actually was. So
Which you have to respect. So
I respect that too. He definitely loves Johnny and Sally. Obviously, we can tell that. He says that we felt that they're the real deal. He's like, I don't know, man. Just like they just click. They just click. And like he's like, that's my couple to win. So that's who he's kind of feeling. He's just feeling it the same way that we are. He says that when he gets out of the house, he really wants to have some Southern fried food. That's kind of what he's looking for when he gets back into his home.
He's so cute. Like the more they showed about him, like on the recap episode, everyone, he just seemed to be a joy to be around. Yeah. So I can see why everyone was so sad that he left, because he just looked like he was so fun.
And I think that was probably also what Rachel was misunderstanding, is that he's such a good time and he's such good vibes that maybe she was thinking that he was having that great of a time with her as well. And so it's unfortunate. I wish that maybe he had given it a little bit more of a chance, because like maybe he would have fallen for her. Maybe he would have met somebody a little bit later, and actually then Trey would probably have been out of the villa.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very interesting. So if you guys are looking for Jeremiah on Instagram, he is Cortez White _ and he has 15,100 followers. He's also followed by Casting, which I thought was interesting. So Robin Cast
for Big what?
Yeah. So like,
please.
You want to see Jeremiah on?
Yes. Oh my God, I would love that. I think he'd go so far.
He's definitely really likable, and obviously he's a person.
Oh, don't fuck this up, Casting.
So I don't know if maybe he's been in talks before, or maybe if he was in talks before Love Island happened, and maybe he was for Big Brother 22 before it was All Stars.
This makes me so excited. Oh my God, please.
Yeah. I was just looking, like I just saw, you see like, oh, who follows whom, like the same people. Like I follow Casting, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so I saw that she follows as well. So
he checks a lot of boxes for
definitely a very good person to be on Big Brother.
OMG 23, please do it.
Great. I think he'd be a really great addition.
I would stand him so hard already. He's hilarious.
Aw, look at you.
He's so far. Everyone loves him.
I know.
Oh my God, that's really exciting, actually.
So what was I going to say? Yes, he said Johnny and Carrington were actually his boys, and Carrington did give him a bracelet, which was like, I think that's super sweet, and they really did connect on a genuine level. A viewer had asked whether or not Johnny and him might have a boy band, and he's like, they didn't really say yes, but I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a song. It's like, why not? People are going to be asking them for it. They're going to have a
2020. Why not?
Fandom. So give it.
Give the fans what they want.
Give them what they want. He actually also says, so it was before obviously whatever went down, that he thought that Trey and Justine were a good fit, and that he really makes her laugh. And so he's like, he was kind of rooting for them as a couple, which is interesting that she just kind of tanks that. So with Mackenzie and Connor, he made a face when people asked him about the relationship. He's like,
same.
Wait, I look at what Jaquan says. Connor can't be left alone with Mackenzie. He needs to be with her in group settings only. I know. Like, he can't handle her. Can't handle her. And do you think Caleb was joking when he said he's sick of Johnny and Sally? When did he say that? Oh, when they were kissing. I
think he's like kind of joking, kind of jealous.
In a joking kind of way. I think he does want to have that kind of connection. I don't think he's jealous of Sally as wanting to be with Sally. I think he's just lightly jealous of the connection that they have and the ease that they have in their relationship. And everybody wants that. Like, we're saying that we even want that. And so it must be really apparent in the house that they really click. And if you're on the show for the right reasons, then that's what you're aiming to have too. And that also would tell me that you don't think you got that with Justine.
Yeah.
Jack says Jeremiah is such a boy next door. Yeah, with his sounds like a thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am kind of guy. He absolutely is. He's the bee's knees, as he said. Probably has a tripod to boot. Why would he have a tripod? He's talking about his own anatomy. Jack, you're so you're very
He's probably not wrong, but no, yeah, Team Jeremiah. I would. Oh my God, he'd be so refreshing on Big Brother. Can you imagine?
And tripod. I was seeing like more like baby's arm, but he is 6'4", so we could imagine that things are proportionate. We'll say. I mean, if they weren't, that would be bizarre.
Yeah, no, he does.
It's just
He's got swagger.
Yeah, he does have swagger, and like, yeah. Maybe is that why Connor doesn't have any swagger? Just saying. Okay, I'm not going to think too hard about that. What else? Anything else did they say about Jeremiah?
Please, 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 BB23.
That would be so good, actually. Yeah, so he was talking a little bit more about Johnny and Sally, and he's like, honestly, she glows anytime she's around him. Like, you can tell that they're really click. That she really likes him a lot, and so he's rooting for them as a couple, and that's his favorite couple in the house. Obviously, he's also rooting for Carrington, but not necessarily their couple. He just loves Carrington and Johnny the most out of everybody. So I thought that was pretty cool. Who's next? So James, our favorite. So if you're looking for James on Instagram, he's James_McCool, MCCOOL1. He has 10,100 followers. So it's pretty big number, we'll say, considering I don't really enjoy it that much. And so one thing that James says that I liked is that he feels as though all the connections that he's made in the villa, everybody is like a lifelong friend, lifelong connection. And that's what I really like about any of these shows. I like that you're going to be put with people you probably will never, ever meet in your entire life. And then you form these bonds. It's kind of like me and you. Like, we would have never met if it hadn't been for some random online reality game that I played a year ago. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like how the world's brings you to people that you would never meet before, but you're supposed to meet in your lifetime. And so I love that. What else do you think about these bonds of these shows?
I love them. I mean, I don't think he'll have a lifelong bond with Moira per se, but I think maybe everyone else on there.
I don't think he hates Moira.
I think Moira hates him.
Maybe, but it's just because she doesn't know how to speak her truth effectively. Like, she's just wishy-washy.
I totally felt her in that situation. Like, I probably would have been the same exact way.
But
calm down, get away from me, chill out.
I know, but I would have told him what was going on instead of just like acting like a bitch.
Yeah, I think she just felt that he couldn't handle it, maybe, which. Well, no, she did. There was a scene of her telling him, and then he laughed at her, and she's like, "Please don't laugh at me."
Well, that was nervous laughter.
Yeah.
That was definitely nervous and uncomfortable, but he was there willing to listen still, but
yeah. But aside from them, I think especially this group of people, I feel are much closer than season 1 already.
Absolutely, I do. One of the
I think it's a much more diverse cast. I mean, I think they had one person from the UK. Oh no, they didn't last year. I thought they. No, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think they'll all be friends for quite a while.
100%. That's what he said. It was really tough to say goodbye to the friendships. you know, even though him and Moira didn't work, he was willing to, he would want to be there just to keep those friendships.
Well, because like imagine how close they got just in like he was there for a little over a week, and they have a few more weeks to go, and some of these people are going to be there from the beginning till the end together. So imagine how close they're going to be after that. So I think he knows that.
100%. It kind of reminds me of, like, I went to this performing arts school, and you audition when you're 8 and you go from year 9 all the way through high school. And so it's called, like, mini Claude is like, there's 300 of us. There's only 60 people of each grade. And we have like such a weird bond because like there's so few of us went through this kind of experience that like, I may have not have seen some of these people for 25 years, but as soon as like I bump into them again, it's like nothing has changed. Like, because we had such like a bonding experience for our schooling. Like, we had to do all these different artistic things. Like, you know, we had to do dance together, or we had to do mime together, or drama, or like we were in the choir together, or we're playing instruments. You know what I mean? We just did so many things in our formative years together. And there were so few of us that we're all just kind of bonded. And I think that this is a similar experience where it's like, not that many people are going to understand what you went through. And
Right.
It's a unique experience. And you've had so many emotions that you're going through that you form a really strong bond with these people that have lived the same thing as you. So I totally understand it. And like, they are definitely going to be friends for life, like going to each other's weddings and like seeing the kids. And, you know, I do think that they're really going to go the long haul. Like, they're going to be best friends for sure.
I know, I kind of equate that to being in a sorority. Like, I'm not the sorority type of person at all. And I like literally the night before decided to go through recruitment, and the house that I ended up being in was pretty much filled with people like similar to me. Like Rachel, I met her in 2010. We've been like best friends since then. So, and I have like a lot of people like that I don't talk to all the time, but if I did see them, it would be like, you know, nothing changed. So
absolutely. And like, you know, like if they ever asked anything of you, like you'd be able to say yes 100% and vice versa. Like, it's just kind of like, it's just a bond. It's a bond that's kind of unbreakable, which I think is cool. I love these shows for those reasons.
I know.
And that's why I'm kind of disappointed with Big Brother right now too, is that I don't feel like these people even are creating those bonds with each other. I know they're returnees, so it might be a little bit different than if they were experiencing things for the first time, but I don't know. There's something going on with this season of Big Brother.
I hate it.
So Jaquan says James' favorite person was Carrington in the villa. Is that true? I don't know. I never saw any evidence of that personally.
I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise me at all.
He didn't really say. He did say Connor and Mackenzie and Johnny and Sally, he thinks are the front runners, even though he does see Mackenzie as being a little bit controlling. He does also feel that they might be front runners for the What?
Speaking of that exact quote, the narrator, he was like, and just like Connor and Mackenzie's relationship, the girls have all the power this week. Like, damn.
Wait, After the Island had him on their show. Okay, yeah, I did watch a little bit of After the Island, but I was kind of clicking through, so I might not have caught everybody. So After the Island is two people, is Elizabeth and what's the girl's name?
Elizabeth from last season?
Yeah, and
I haven't seen that.
I can't remember the other girl. She was there from the beginning, and she had the most trouble getting into a relationship. And then someone. No, she's Brunette. She's pretty, but like a little more plain Janie pretty. She was from the beginning, and then she finally found someone that she really clicked with, and like everybody was super excited about her. Okay, Jaquan, tell us who this is. Alex. Okay, thank you, Jaquan.
Oh, Alex, she was part of that guy, the surfer dude for.
So they have an after show. So they've been talking to all the Islanders as they've been leaving, and doing a recap of the episodes as well. So it's actually pretty good. Yeah, they both, I guess, they live in the same city, I'm assuming. I think it's Michigan. And so they've been doing it together. Like, they've actually been side by side, and then they have somebody else come on. So they talk to, I saw snippets of all of their exit interviews with these
I'm gonna go watch.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like both of them.
So hold on, what's this? The person they had last year from Canada.
Yeah, I was thinking that there was like someone from the UK last year, but
oh, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Who was it from? Oh, that guy that was like, he's sorry guys, like Canada's not like that. People don't act like him.
Yeah, everyone from Canada is so nice, I thought.
He's such a
Until I got
really representative of Canada, in my opinion. But and from Toronto, like he didn't seem like he's from Toronto. I don't know. He didn't seem cool enough. Yeah, they had Rachel on today. No, I hadn't watched it yet. Before I started this, but I'd watched Rachel on Entertainment Tonight a little bit. And then, yeah, Alex. So anything else that you learned about James? Like, do we even care?
I wish him the best.
Oh, so this was kind of in the past. Obviously, we know things have changed since, but he did feel as though that Trey might have hurt Justine's feelings and that Justine might fall for Trey more than Trey falls for Justine. So that's what he was anticipating was going to be happening. And then pulled a fast one.
Surprise.
Took the reins into her hands. And yeah. So one thing that James was saying, it kind of was a little bit ick, but he was like, so basically Maura just completely changed from, you know, I think it's from that conversation that they had at the pool was when she completely changed. And then it was confusing to him, obviously. And then she was saying that she didn't want to move fast, but he was also talking about, he's like, yeah, I get it. She doesn't want to move fast, but like I'm a physical guy, like physical, but like, I'm not like, I don't need to sleep with somebody right away. And like, he's kind of being a little bit contradictory, but like, if he's a physical kind of guy, but doesn't want to move too fast, like the expectation is that you want to move too fast. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, I don't know. It stressed me out.
Totally bad.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I just wasn't into him at all. And
again, if they were the only two that hadn't done that in the villa, maybe. But they were the only two that had gotten second base, as far as we know. So chill.
Rachel, if you're still with us here, Rachel and Vicky, who is your favorite gentleman in the house? Who do you think is the hottest, including the people that have left so far? And Jaquan, who's your favorite girl? Is it Sally or do you like somebody else? What else we got going on here? So James said what he said he needed to learn he needs to listen more and that he needs to not be as defensive in these situations. And so I think that's a good takeaway, a good learning lesson, because if he had just listened more instead of like barking at her and like laughing and, you know, kind of not responding in a way that was kind of considerate, maybe they were.
And he didn't let her talk. Like he was just like, well, what do you think you're gonna do? Do you want to see him again? Like how did it go? Like just chill the F out. She hasn't even had the chance to like think about her thoughts and feelings or how.
Yeah, exactly. And so listening more, I think, will help him with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing though, before their breakup, he says that they slept alone, like so they slept in separate beds. Did it show that? And I just didn't see it.
I think it did. I was wondering how that worked because I saw Moira like in the bed alone. And so I was wondering how they were able to swing that.
And so, I mean, that's nice that he at least didn't force her to be in the bed with him.
But that's how, yeah. I mean, just knowing how I am, I would totally have done the same.
Like, yeah, can you not sleep in this bed with me? Like, gross.
Mm-hmm. But because even they showed the scene where, like, they got back from the date and he was trying to, like, be cool with Calvin and, like, the new boys. They get it, but he was like, well, we're pretty exhausted, so we're going to go to bed, but I can show you around first if you want. And then she told him, she's like, chill the fuck out. And then he, like, got, like, all heated about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she could have said it a little nicer, but I was thinking the same thing. Like, why do you have to say we're exhausted? Like, why are you... Like, I would have taken that as, like, kind of controlling that, like, you're going to take me to bed with you because you don't want to be around the situation anymore, and that would have pissed me off.
Yeah.
Thank you all around.
The last thing that I wrote down he said is, like, it's kind of what I was saying before, but that he's not the hookup guy. He was there for a connection. And I was like, that didn't really translate.
No. He may have, like, really meant that, but just the way that he came on was pretty strong.
Yeah. Awkward. Aw. Y'all the best recaps to bring something different than some people. Just be biased. Aw.
Saquon.
I mean, we love chatting about this show, and we have an American and a Canadian perspective. We have astrology perspectives, and so we kind of want to bring it all to the table. And we love chatting with you guys. You guys definitely also bring things for us to think about and maybe new perspectives. So we love chatting with you here as well, Jaquan. You are the best chat guest we've ever had.
Love it.
I was Team Sally ever before the show, and Johnny from their personality, I predicted they're going to get together. Oh, look at you predicted. Cancer is actually one of the most psychic of signs. Most of the water signs are going to have a lot of psychic ability because it's part of the intuition as well. And so, you tend to be great with your intuition. It's also, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So the moon is all about emotions. The moon is also the feminine side. And so having intuition comes from the feminine energy, the divine feminine. And so having really good intuition and instincts is really a very, very Cancerian trait. So you might be emotional, but you're also intuitive, which is great. And that's probably why you've been having really good reads on what's been going on in the villa, because of that Cancerian energy. So thank you.
Yes. I'm so excited for tonight's episode.
Me too. I was planning on doing a Big Brother recap right after the episode. I'm gonna have to figure out the timing then. Do the recap at 10? Is that too late?
Well, wait. Big Brother's on at 8, so it'd be on 5 p.m. here.
Oh, you're behind. Yeah, I can't even do.
I already know what happened, so it's up to you.
Well, I mean, you can come on if you want. I'm going to do Phil from Phil Survivor online. That Phil, he said he wanted to do the recap, so him and JoJo might come and do the recap with me. So
I'll probably watch this one.
Or you can maybe come on, and then I can probably find Love Island maybe at 10 on CBS, maybe.
At 9.
Pardon?
Oh, but it's on 9 my time, so wouldn't it be on at 7? 6?
9. It's on at 9 my time.
Oh, okay.
You're 3 hours behind, right? So it comes on at 9 for me, but it's 6 p.m. for you. So when it gets to 9, it's midnight. So I'm hoping that it will be uploaded before midnight, maybe. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just need to watch it before Monday, anyways.
Right.
Watch it live. We'll see. I'll figure it out. So lastly, of all the house guests, or not house guests, all the Islanders, we have Rachel. So Rachel, if you're looking for on Instagram, is RACH, like so Rach Lundell, Lundell. Is there one? No, Rach Lundell. And she only has 2330 in Instagram followers. So she guess that she hasn't stayed on long enough to accrue more followers, or maybe these people had a few more followers beforehand. But she definitely has, or maybe she just started Instagram for the show.
Maybe.
She didn't have that many pictures. She maybe had 15 or 20 pictures.
So fairly new, I'm sure.
So maybe she started an account just to go on the show. But yeah, she was definitely shocked by his choice. She definitely didn't feel as though,
everyone was shocked.
She was going home that time. She thought that she developed a little bit of a connection with him enough to want to keep her there, just to explore that a little bit more. What do you think was the deciding factor to make him choose Justine?
The only thing I can think of is he felt more of a spark with their few kisses that they did share than he did sleeping next to Rachel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once I saw that they had kissed during the dice game, which I assume came before the car wash, I was kind of like, okay, this all makes sense now.
Agree. And so, and they've already kind of crossed that boundary, we'll say. And so it will be easier for them to maybe have an intimate moment. And so maybe because that has happened is why he felt like, I think that we can maybe progress more quickly than I could with Rachel, because they hadn't maybe had anything.
And Justine was coming on very like confident, very strong. She's like, I know what I want and you're it. Like, I mean, damn. Justine's beautiful all around, so I think the more I saw like the recap, I was like, okay, I can see why he picked her, because like what they portrayed in the episodes leading up to it, I was shocked. I really thought he was going to stay with Rachel, which makes me sad because I wish Jeremiah would have given Rachel a chance, because I think they would have been, I don't know if they would have been good together, but maybe they could have, you know, gone a little farther than they did.
I do too. Like, I like both of their personalities, and I would have loved to see them stay a little longer. And
yeah, but you know. Jeremiah BB23, I'm holding on to something already for. I always get let down, but let's see.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. So
yeah, and he's already on Love Island. Like, oh, come on, bring him back.
And well, do you know what though? Do you remember last year they had Winston on Love Island? So there must be some crossover stuff that's happening.
Maybe. And I saw him, I was like, no.
Right, I know we weren't a fan favorite of Winston, but
I was like, and David's been talking about supposedly trying to get on Love Island, so it's true. Yeah, I'm down for that switch.
Yeah, I would rather Jeremiah on Big Brother than.
Oh my gosh, he will do so well. I can't wait.
Great. So one thing Rachel was saying is that she was really frustrated by the fact that her and Justine were continually always being kind of, going after the same guy. Like, she did have Jeremiah and Justine were done when Rachel was pursuing him in the beginning. But the fact that like they kind of had similar tastes, and the men that were available that were kind of interested in both of them. And she's like, she wished that anybody else would have been like, she didn't want to be doing this with somebody that she thought was her friend. So what do you think about that?
Well, it's like we talked about before, that it's also the guys having a similar taste in women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't, I don't think they cast enough people that had enough of like a different spectrum of taste. So of course they're going to be going after the same guys, because the same guys are going after them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they had, like every guy in there was attracted to them. Not attracted to them, but you know what I mean.
Interested, or potentially interested.
Yeah, like interested in pursuing something further than a friendship.
I would never, ever, ever see Carrington going for either of those girls.
Or James.
No way. No way.
Yeah,
maybe James and Rachel.
Or Calvin. Like,
it definitely seems as though the people of color only have the people of color that are interested in them. And the men.
Calvin did ask Rachel on a date, though. That I'm forgetting about that.
So I was saying that Calvin and Rachel, like, I think that they could have had something. I think he just needed more time. And you're right. I think that because the kiss accelerated maybe getting to that intimate level, I think that that's just he wants to move a little bit quicker, I think, and just to stay in the villa potentially longer. And so I think he took that chance.
Then you don't have that long to make a decision. You don't have that many things to make this decision off of. So like those little things are going to add up over time.
And Rachel was also saying that she was giving them their space because of, the fact that Justine wanted to pursue him a little bit. And so she was probably not being full throttle, like all over him, because like, if you're fighting for a guy, you don't want to look desperate. You don't want to look trying too hard. So it's kind of, she was in a little bit of an awkward situation there, especially since Justine was being so bold. And that's not really the style of Aquarius. Like, it's not. So it sucks. I think that Rachel and him would have bonded better if they had maybe one more day. Just one more day. So she talks a lot about the friend breakup that she had with Justine. And many people asked her if she would speak to Justine outside the house. And she said, no. She said, she's like, nothing's wrong with her, or I really enjoyed getting to know her within the house, and we did have a good friendship within the house. But you know, there were other people that she clicked with more that she wouldn't have to work on their friendship or have a discussion about like what had happened. You know, she has clean slates with other people, and she doesn't want to have to clean the slate with Justine in order for them to move forward in a relationship. She's like, I don't know her well enough to be wanting to put that effort in, basically. And so, what do you think about that? I thought that was interesting.
It's a little harsh, but
I mean, like, it's kind of like if me and you met for a week, you stole my boyfriend and didn't really feel as though you did anything wrong by me. And I have a really good friendship with somebody else who didn't do all of that to me. Why do I need to work on a relationship with you when like it was only a week long and you already did that to me? You know what I mean? I'd just be like, I'm just going to choose a friendship with somebody that I like more, that hasn't stabbed me in the back.
Yeah, I see it. I just guess I wasn't expecting. I think once Justine gets out, she's gonna like watch it back and she's gonna really regret how she handled things. And I think she's gonna definitely like do her apology tour with Rachel, but who knows? Maybe one day. But she's fair. She's valid in her feelings. So
yeah, and how she was saying it, she wasn't even saying it in a mean way. She's like, yeah, like no, like probably not. Like I have a lot of better connections in the house, and like I just don't want to have to work on a friendship with her when I don't need to.
I mean, you kind of don't want to be invested in something that's going to require a lot of time and effort, especially if you don't live in the same city or, you know.
One thing that she felt that she mentioned is that Caleb felt like he was second best. And so that's probably also why he chose Justine.
So like he was second best to who?
To guess Jeremiah, because Jeremiah like said no, and then
so he felt like he was her backup kind of.
Yeah. And so that could have also contributed to him being like, well, she's all in for me right now. And like, I don't know if Rachel just chose me because Jeremiah wasn't into her anymore. And so that makes sense too.
Yeah, it does.
Anything else? Yeah, that's kind of all that she really said. She likes Kirsten, Lauren, and Trey, but she actually really loves everybody. Looking back, she wishes that she was able to stay in the house, but she's actually really okay and fine with the fact that she's leaving. I keep on saying the house. Sorry, guys. I'm a Big Brother watcher, and so it's always about the house. It's always about the house. Even when I talk about Survivor, yes. I'm always saying eviction instead of like, I don't know what to say in Survivor anymore. You've been voted out by your fellow castmates or your
tribe. The tribe has spoken.
Tribe has spoken. You have been. I don't know. Whatever. I can't remember. I'm always just saying evictions and evicted by your fellow house guests so often that it comes out all the time. So
we're brainwashed.
I'm sorry. Looking back, she's so excited to be Caleb's friend. Okay, so that's good. She said, yeah, she was excited to be Caleb's friend and hopes that, you know, him and Justine are great together. And she wishes everybody the best of luck.
Caleb's hot. They're showing more of him. And I think I'm
kind of like Caleb. It could be, you know, a little bit
of he looks a little devious. Oh, he's hot. I'm down.
I'm down with Caleb and I'm down with freaking Johnny. They're both freaking air signs. They're both really cute. Caleb seems tall. I don't know how tall Johnny seems.
Caleb's tall. I think they said Johnny was like 6 feet. I think they said the shortest person in there was like 6 feet. So.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, and you know how I noticed Rachel was like super, super tall because she was still wearing sandals next to Caleb.
Yeah, she looks tall. She looks like 5'10", 5'11". I seen a clip of a girl in Big Brother talking about Pauly and Bailey. They were on the same season of the challenge. So Pauly and Davon were on season 18 together.
Yeah.
Bailey was not on the challenge together. Bailey was only on season 35 of the challenge. Pauly, I believe, was on season 34, 33, like the early 30s, a couple of seasons.
Did Davon never do the challenge?
Davon did a couple of seasons. I believe that Davon may have been on one with Pauly at the same time. She was definitely on
Of the challenge, really?
Yeah, Devon's been on the challenge.
Oh, so it must have been 32 because I saw up to 31. And she hadn't been on there yet.
It's more recent. It's definitely like in the 30s.
Like 32, 33, 34, one of those.
She was on the same one, maybe that Natalie was on her first one, or maybe Victor.
Natalie was on 31. That was 31.
So it might have been the next one after that.
That's my blank spot in the CBS app.
I can't remember because obviously I have.
Yeah, Devon was on the challenge.
Yes, I think she
go girl.
Season. She didn't do poorly either. She was pretty good.
I'm like probably halfway through 35 right now, and it is so good. I didn't know Swaggy C was 6'4".
Yeah, he's tall.
Get it, Bailey? I did not know that. I just assumed he was like maybe like
tripod, as Mr. Jack likes to say.
What?
I said he's probably a tripod, like.
Oh yeah.
To say.
Definitely.
So yeah, I seen a clip of the girl on Big Brother talking about Pauly and Bailey. So I don't know
that they were getting them confused. Like,
don't do that.
No, like maybe they were saying, like it was like Christmas or like someone else talking about.
Not sure who was on which season with Pauly. Fair.
Shocker, probably Christmas.
Probably Christmas. I can't remember though if Pauly and Devon were on the same season or not.
I feel like they would put them together.
But I feel like there was a season with Devon, Natalie, and Pauly. I think that there was one. Maybe we can look it up. Let's see. The next one, yeah, Challenge 36. Yeah, I know that they're filming now, if I'm not mistaken. Some people have been ejected from that cast. So Morgan's out. Morgan,
Annalise.
Sorry? Annalise is out.
Bye.
Apparently, also, who was also someone else from season 21 that I didn't hear about, but that she's also Christy from last season was apparently being considered, but
ew, I'm 21. Oh God, they need to ban everyone from season 21 from being on any show.
Done.
Not everyone. Like they can.
Iceland.
Like, I think Kemi should have been on it. I love Kemi.
They're filming in Iceland right now. Here.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled though that they kicked Annalise off.
Yeah, I mean, I never even liked her personality. No. Lack of it.
Nope. Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
Be a better person.
Right? And or stand up for people. That's what I just don't understand. Like, even with what's been going on with Big Brother, why aren't people in the house saying like, hey, like maybe we shouldn't talk that poorly about people? Like
that's what I think tanked Nicole's game. I think if she would have just been like, instead of like backing Jackson up the whole time and all of them being, oh, they're great people. It's like, no, they're not.
Absolutely. Okay, Quan, do you have any other questions? Corey's. Whoa.
Corey's hot though. Corey is
one of my favorites. Been watching him since Real World, Team Young Bucks all the way. And Bananas on the season. Jaquan, this is the first time that I think that I might be.
Go Bananas! I love Bananas.
Not on the season, so he doesn't like Bananas. So Team Young Bucks was Corey, Hunter, and Nelson that they were all coming for Bananas, and so. They're his adversaries will say, I'm sorry, Jaquan, I'm so not Team Corey, I'm not Team Nelson, and I'm not Team Hunter.
I'm Team Corey's body and face. Absolutely. He's hot. But I'm Team Bananas till I die.
So dumb. He's so dumb.
Bananas is so fine.
I need to see what Corey's birthday is.
Corey's hot.
Corey, what's his last
name? Corey's way hot.
Corey, the challenge.
What is Bananas? I'm gonna look at Bananas.
Cancer, but you can look it up.
Bananas is cancer?
I think so.
Oh.
I think so. I could be wrong. Corey right now has 1.3 million followers. Wow.
He's hot. Duh.
Well, it's because he went on though. Teen Mom OG with what's her name? With Cheyenne. because before that he did not have that many followers. But after Team
Johnny
Mom,
Bananas is a Leo. Duh.
are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure it's not the 22nd?
Says, wait. June 22nd.
That's right on the cusp. It turns into Leo on the 23rd. So
Cancer. Oh, so it's like Cancer going into Leo.
Mm-hmm. Does it say somewhere that he's a Leo?
Yeah, like the main thing, like the like when it like pops up big, like the first.
Oh, your boy Corey, March 5th, 19.
He's 2 days before me.
There you go, girl.
We're Pisces together. He's hot. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't vibe with him at all. I love people who are smart, and this Aquarius, like, we like the heady stuff. And
just looks wise, I'm down.
So dumb. And you haven't watched him on X on the Beach?
No.
Watch him on X on the Beach with Taylor and Alicia, and there's no way that you could end up liking him because he's just such a. Yeah, come on. Have you watched Corey on X on the Beach? That's the question I have for you. Fessy's dope. I like Fessy. And I liked Fessy on the challenge this season.
Fessy's he's hot too.
He's definitely hot. When's Fessy's birthday? Fessy.
I feel like he's definitely not a water sign because he would have better intuition in Big Brother.
He is a Libra. No, he's not. He's a Libra. So Libra is air sign, so he's going to be kind of like Johnny. So Johnny's a Libra as well. So they don't usually like confrontation. They don't usually like fighting. They usually like things balanced. They're signs that like beautiful things. It's ruled by Venus. And so with that, I think they put their women on a pedestal, which I think that we saw him do that with Haley. And this is.
I need to find out. I don't know why they broke up.
I'm sure she's like too young and like too.
She's always very vague with it, so I never really got like a full.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, we'll do some investigating. But Jaquan, do you have any questions? Wait, you watch most? Do you watch Floribama Shores? I watch.
I don't go that deep.
I've never watched Floribama Shores.
I cannot.
I might if I run out of content, do like a binge watch, just so I know what I'm like what's going on there. I'm going to do a binge watch of If It's All Up, what's it called? A Shot at Love, whatever, 2.
Oh my God.
The first one, I might as well see the second one. Let's see. I watched the season of X on the Beach. I like Taylor. Oh, on Are You the One? Okay. She was okay then. But when she came back, even like the next season, she was such a raging bitch. I thought she was really nasty with how she was treating Alicia. She spat over a balcony at Alicia, like with Corey standing right beside her, like being like, and Alicia came in as an ex of Corey.
If someone spits on me, I'm swinging.
Well,
that's where I draw the line.
And so like Alicia's like running up the stairs, like about to come get her, and like everybody just like held her back, but she definitely like and spat at.
No, that's the most disrespect.
In the house. Corey was standing there supporting this.
Yeah, no, I'd happily get kicked off any show if someone spit on me.
Wait, I watched So you need to do a watch of X on the Beach, dear.
Yeah, it's what I've been realizing. Maybe it's on CBS now.
It might be.
Since they merged with MTV, which I have been loving.
It's so good. I didn't watch the new Are You the One. I watched the new Are You the One. It was a little bit messy, I would say, because everybody was gender fluid or sexually fluid. And so I found that people's attractions were taking over, maybe finding real connections. And so there was a lot of kind of polyamory that was going on. And so I found it was difficult for people to find their connections. It was just quite messy, I found. There was a lot of just mixing up and whatnot. I thought it was a very interesting concept. Obviously, I like the growth and the, looking at relationships in a little bit of a different way. I just didn't necessarily enjoy the season as much, but there's a lot of really great characters that came out of there. There was a lot of people that I really enjoyed. I've never watched Bora Bema Shore. I've never watched Siesta Keys either. I like Taylor on X on the Beach. I don't know. I could be biased. Even when she spat on Alicia, Alicia is so gorgeous.
I don't care if she's ugly. You spit on her, I'm fighting.
The spitting part, I can't. And she was just so vile. In my opinion, I thought she was just. I started to dislike Taylor from that moment, and then all of her racist tweets and stuff like that. Like she was canceled from MTV. You know that, right?
Racist tweets?
She had these racist tweets, basically saying like, "Oh, I don't even want to." Like she was working in a restaurant. Maybe it was a while ago, but she's like, "Yeah, I don't even want to serve them. Like I'm scared of them," and like saying the N-word in some of her tweets, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And so she got canceled by MTV because of this, because they were just canceling people that were problematic, which I think is a good thing. Mostly only women, though, they've been canceling, because even our boy Johnny Bananas has said some things that are a little bit questionable, we'll say. And so they definitely, well, you'll find out soon what's going to go on with the challenge, but there's some people
I'm going to watch it right now.
Yeah, you are. But yeah, so I'm just like, I'm not a fan of Taylor. I don't think that she's personally a great person. I think that Corey is hot, but I think he's dumb. I think that Ryder is a really cute baby. Probably the cutest baby I've ever seen.
Is that his baby?
With Cheyenne. So Cheyenne was also on the challenge. You might have seen her by now. She was Dirty 30. Maybe?
Yeah. I watched like the first episode, and then I skipped to 31 because I saw Victor on the prequel of it, and so I was like, oh, I want to watch like Big Brother people, because I think that was the first season they put Big Brother people on. The challenge was around 31. Natalie and Victor.
Makes sense. I can't remember before.
Yeah, so I was just really excited to see Big Brother people on there. And what I loved in 35, CT, when him and Bailey won the challenge, and then Bailey was trying to convince CT to be for Swaggy be the third part of the tribunal. He's like, I don't know if I can trust yous. Yous are all Big Brother people. And so he's like, what do you think we do? Just backdoor people all the time? And CT's like, yes. It's I don't know. I thought that like them going into it would probably have like the weakest reputation, but then when they bring on like X on the Beach and like Are You the One people, well, like they didn't do any physical challenges like Big Brother did, at least.
But the thing is, though, before how it was funneled through was through MTV shows.
Yeah.
So you're on. It started off as the Real World versus Road Rules.
Right. Yeah.
Challenge. And then they started bringing in. I didn't even like it in the beginning, but then they started bringing in Are You the One?
Yeah.
That was a new influence of another MTV show, and so
I think they just waited too long to do that, because it was like how many
seasons merged yet with CBS.
No. But I'm saying like back then, like they waited too long to bring on other people other than Real World Road Rules, because at that point it was like 20 seasons of just that.
But I'm a super fan. I actually respect the old school seasons better.
I liked it, but I'm just saying, of course you're going to hate any new person or any new show coming on, and like you're always going to side with the vets.
But yeah, I'm always going to side for the vets. I appreciate their journey more because of the organicness of the show. It was because it was Real World versus Road Rules. Like that was what the show was.
Yeah.
Now
they renamed it, right? To the challenge.
The challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, but their formula for getting new people was always recycling people within the MTV world. And so there was no other shows on MTV in 2000. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just Real World and Road Rules, and like, I don't know, the hot music list on Sundays or whatever it was. You know what I mean? There wasn't that many shows to choose from. And so every year they would have a new Real World. Every year they would have a new Road Rules. And then some of those people would be filtered in to be part of the new cast of the next season. So they kept on doing that for like 20 something or 25 probably seasons. And then they started bringing in Are You the One when it was a new show that was part of the MTV bubble. And so, the only reason why they're bringing in CBS now is because CBS has merged with Viacom, which is the umbrella or the mother company of MTV. And that's why they're also venturing across the pond, because it's all MTV shows that have been licensed outside of the US. And so it's still the same.
Yeah.
It's just there's more shows that they get to work with because
Yeah.
they've merged.
A lot of UK shows.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I watched them all. Okay, wait, before we continue talking about, okay, what's the last thing? Some people make mistakes. She apologized a long time ago. MTV should have been cutting ties. I was mad when the Baby Steps special didn't air. I mean, I think that, in terms of making a statement, I think that it was important for them to not just like accept people's apology, but to realize that what they said, and if they weren't being reprimanded, like they weren't reprimanded when it actually happened, but I think they do need to own up to what they said in the past. Like I watched Vanderpump Rules and I love Stassi, but Stassi said some really shitty things that, you know what, I have to respect Bravo for not wanting to let her get away with that any further. Yeah, maybe you were going to apologize, but of course you're going to apologize because you don't want to be canceled. You know what I mean? So I feel as though people need to own up to what they said in the past. You know what? Sorry, maybe you've changed. Maybe that's not the way you think anymore. But you know what? It sucks that you said things that were really shitty about people that we're actually going to hold you accountable for now. So I think that sucks, but I think that it is fair of MTV to choose who they want to have representing them. And just because they apologize doesn't mean that their thoughts have changed. Just because she's dating a half black man doesn't mean that she doesn't still have any white privilege or any sort of racist tendencies. Like she still may have these judgments. And so I don't even know if I trust that she has, changed really that much. You're not on camera, right?
What?
Oh, you know that your camera's gone?
Hold on.
I think that Bananas said a lot of things should get him kicked off. I totally agree. That Bananas has said some things, and I kind of mentioned just a little bit before that, he said some questionable things, and most of the men that have said some questionable things have not had to been canceled from it. Jordan, for instance, he said that he's not going to come back for a few seasons, but it's because he had a huge fight on The Real World. I believe it was Portland that he was on with what's her name? Naya. He was imitating a chimpanzee when talking to her and like calling, I think he even called her the N-word directly to her face. They've since come onto podcasts and talked about what had happened and those issues, but they did not cancel him, and it was on an actual show.
Jordan was hated on Real World.
Oh yeah, I didn't like Jordan at all. He's definitely rectified himself a bit in the challenge, but he decided to take some time away from it. I think he did that just so that MTV wouldn't cancel him completely. I don't know. I totally agree with you, Jaquan, but with Bananas saying a lot of things, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was canceled. But I also think that it's fair of MTV to cancel Taylor because they want to set a precedent. They can do whatever they want. She's not likable. It's kind of gross. Oh, my opinion. But I think if I'm also not mistaken, that Corey and Taylor did air their own birthing specials. So I think they had their own footage that they aired themselves. So if you need to see them have that baby, you could probably find it on Corey's Instagram or Taylor's. They're both thirsty. So I'm sure it's findable. I'll even look for it for you, okay, Jaquan, if you can't find yourself. Anything else about Love Island that we didn't get to? I know we kind of went on a little bit of a MTV/Big Brother tangent, but back to what we've been talking about. Anything else? Anybody?
I'm excited to see how Mackenzie reacts to Calvin pieing her.
Yes. Getting pied. I can't wait to see.
That's ballsy.
Into the hideaway to see if they go all the way.
They will.
I'm sure she wants to lock that down. Get them whipped. Dre or D being canceled. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, she hasn't seen this yet. Jaquan.
D gets canceled?
Yeah.
No shit because of what she did on 35?
Outside of 35, like, so during the Black Lives Matter movement, she was saying she had some questionable tweets that involved Bailey and Swaggy, and they're having some conversations that weren't great at all. And
she's from Australia. She has no right to even be chiming in on that shit.
Well, exactly. I mean, yeah. Some people were saying like because the fact that she's from Australia, she doesn't know about like, she should know better as just like is like inhuman. Like,
well, yeah.
But
to chime in on that, she has no place.
And what she was saying was not good. So,
well,
the YouTube is the Warden family. Jaquan, you're hilarious. I'm not a big fan of them. I might take a quick peek, but just to see the special a little bit. But I don't know. They're both too dumb for me, personally. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. Not at all. Anything else, Jaquan? We'll see you tomorrow. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. So just in general, if you're watching still, we'll try to get between 2 and 4 p.m. A live recap of Love Island the day after that it airs. Because Brazil is in the West Coast and I'm in the East Coast, so I always see it earlier. So we can't do it right after the episode because we have to wait 3 hours for her to catch up. And then doing it at midnight, I mean, maybe you'd want that, but at the same time, it just seems a little bit late. So that's why we do it the next day between usually 2 and 4, just depending on how other things are being scheduled. So, let's see, is there final thoughts? Do you know what time y'all? Oh, look at that! So I didn't even see that you wrote that, Jaquan. Yeah, it's Labor Day. I have a day off. My life is a day off right now. Brazil is home right now too. So yes, most likely at around 2 p.m. But in general, we'll be going live between 2 and 4 p.m. the day after the episode airs. So tomorrow will probably be 2 because I don't have to do any extra stuff. So probably, 2 p.m. most likely tomorrow is when we'll be going on live. Maybe a little bit late just because we're late.
Is tomorrow Labor Day?
Tomorrow's Labor Day, yeah.
Sure.
And if you're watching, I'm doing a Labor Day special on my Instagram or through my Instagram. So I'm doing a mixture of astrology and tarot card readings. And because it's Labor Day for the month of September, I'm going to do it at Pay What You Can. So these sessions should be around an hour and a half. And then after you can decide how much you would like to donate towards me for the experience, the value, the knowledge, the insight. You can find that on my Instagram at ShanFranFran, or even at Reality Realness, you'll find a link there. There'll be a link so you can book a time. We can set it up. We'll do it over Zoom. And then afterwards, I can either send you an invoice for a certain amount, or you can email money transfer me if you're in Canada, or you can PayPal me if you're anywhere else in the world. So that's something that I am going to be doing for the Labor Day special for the month of September. That's what's going on with me. What about you, Brazil? What's going on with you?
Literally nothing.
Love Island.
Love Island. Unfortunately, Big Brother.
Where can people find you?
At BabyZill on Instagram. At Zildo Brocco on Twitter, but it's all Big Brother. Exactly. But if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead.
I mean, maybe we need to get into some Love Island forums. I'm gonna start following some Love Island stuff.
Okay, yeah, I don't follow any on Twitter, but I probably should.
I think I follow like Love Island USA, the hashtag I follow. I'll follow some more stuff, so maybe we can get some more tea, some more gossip. Of course, you can find me at Reality Realness with 3 S's on Instagram and on the Twitter, but there's no second E on Reality Realness. It's really silly. I think that's everything. Oh, okay, we'll see you tomorrow, most likely, Jaquan, most likely at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't done so already, please like this, subscribe to this, ring that bell. So when we go live, pretty much every day, I think I go live pretty much every day, you will be notified or if we have a new episode. Love chatting with you guys. Love talking all things reality TV. If you have any shows you want us to cover or any interesting insights, let us know in the comments below. We love reading them. We love chatting with you. Come join in on the fun. Let's talk about our favorite show right now because Big Brother is not cutting it. Love Island all the way. CBS, you got a winner here.
Mm-hmm.
Last words other than deuces?
Team Johnny and Sally.
Woo, woo, woo. Bye, guys.